fun and adventure. So we'll get right into it. And Val, welcome back to Oscar. And Val can give us the awesome recap that she does.
Sadly, Sid successfully descended again last week from the tower. Excuse me, the Dornfort. Vamir came downstairs that morning, white as a sheet, and indicated that he was having nightmares and hearing voices. Kaz was off making breakfast when an explosion blew out the windows in the front of Troll Skull Manor, and 11 bodies littered the street outside. By count, they were one elderly female, two cloaked male humans with sheathed swords, two female humans, one half elf in plain clothes, two female halflings, two male halflings, and one male gnome with a burned cloak who happened to be clutching a dagger. We all ran outside to determine what was afoot. Gothak and Krager immediately recognized the signs of a fireball spell being clever gentlemen. Sid decided to go incognito, plunks down, and starts thinking about the dawn. Gothak checks the cloaked gnome corpse. He had dry material waste on his boots and cloak, indicating he was recently in the sewers, and he had a pouch at his side that Gothak takes a peek into. A halfling approaches, accuses him of tampering with the crime scene, wants to know what's in the pouch. It contains gold piece no 5 gemstones worth 100 gold pieces each. The halfling knows it's good stuff, wants a payoff to be quiet. Gothak's confused because, being a Goliath, he has no idea what's going on other than the fact that this halfling appears to be up to something. So Sid, of all people, intervenes, indicates the way it's going to go. Gothak puts the pouch back down as a result of Vamir convincing him to follow what Sid was suggesting, and the halfling scuttles off. Krager executes proper rites on the two gents in the cloaks, examining their bodies and taking a peek at the swords with some help from Vamir. He notices black leather armor and sheathed swords, and then he notes that one of the men has the black winged snake tattooed on his forearm. The owner of the plant shop tells us a limping cloaked stranger took something off the body of a gnome and headed for the bent nail. A wealthy water Davian standing nearby at the Tiger's Eye talks to the owner of that shop, and we notice a 12-year-old boy hiding behind a rain barrel. Krager goes over to have a conversation with him, and the boy happens to be holding a necklace with 2 beads on it, red globes with an active swirl in them, and a broken clasp. Vamir concentrates on it to determine the magic school. Meanwhile, the wealthy water Davian indicates a knot man was on the roof, looking a bit like a puppet without strings, that hurled something that caused the explosion and burned the halfling alive. Vincent, the owner of the Tiger's Eye, indicates it was an automatron similar to those that he's seen in festivals. Barnabas Blastwind of the Watch arrives about 20 minutes after the explosion takes charge, and then Seth Cromley commands a force of about 20 or so that begin knocking on doors and making the usual inquiries. They inspect all the bodies and wander over to talk to us. They ask for information, and Sid begins yelling about the dawn, which shocks no one. Vamir talks about the necklace of fireballs. Krager slowly hands it to Cromley. The automaton is mentioned. They asked how the boy was in possession and explained that it was dropped from the roof and into a water barrel. They decide they need to go check the rooftop. They also indicate that the gnome appears to have been headed to our tavern and asked if we know him. The answer is no. Barnabas thinks the gnome was being chased by 3 individuals and that one of the pursuers has fled. Theoretically, the limping, burned man who took something off the gnome's body, and the 2 gentlemen in the cloaks with the sheathed swords are the other 2 that were chasing him. He thinks that none of them saw the blast coming, and thus the 2 men with the swords perished very quickly. So, we conclude our conversation with them, go back to the manor, and decide what to do. So, Gothak, Krager, Kaz, and Bladebiter head to Weird Bottle Concoctions to take care of this potion delivery problem. Vamir and said head to a local temple. Schema Weird Bottle is simply overjoyed to see us and demands to know what took us so long. Gothak explains the fireball situation, and then Schemo talks to the inside of his cloak a lot, which he refers to as his friend. Tells the inside of his cloak, and really us, to deliver the potions to a lady in a purple cloak near the Godcatcher statue in the castle ward. The 4 potions are in a silk-lined coffer, which he hands to Gothak, who carries it carefully out of the shop and into the street. Somewhere in the distance, we hear the cackling of a dawn screamer, although we're not really sure why. We're walking along the street and suddenly a pair of bugbears jumps out of the sewer to attack us. The bugbears are assholes. Soon they have 2 more bugbear friends. Those bugbears are also assholes. And a psionic kobold and another kobold, which happens to have a name but didn't last long, also appears. The psionic kobold makes the mistake of trying to read Gothak's mind, which doesn't go terribly well, because it causes him to enrage. The psionic kobold, therefore, is also an asshole. Krager eventually is disgruntled by the whole situation and crits with the guiding bolt on the kobold with a name, who dies instantly. We never got to see an attack from that one. Gothak proceeds to get mad and starts killing everything in sight. Krager attempts to save Kaz, who's taken enough damage to be nearly dying, manages to cast Spare the Dying, and then goes about doing some more damage, as the dwarf would do. Gothak proceeds to continue hurting the bugbears, and I refuse to die, having taken a lot of damage and being really annoyed because I'm a dragon, damn it, and I shouldn't be taking so much damage. Gregor spares me too. The bugbears suddenly can't hit the broadside of a barn after critting left and right, and they're still assholes. So Gothak proceeds to kill the last of them, and frankly still annoyed by the whole situation. Meanwhile, 4 veterans city watch round the corner, furiously blowing their whistles. They want to know what's going on. They see their bugbears, and a young blonde human female with a long scar on her cheek comes around the corner. She is Sergeant Pegrina Castle. She tells the watch to stand down, asks for an explanation, which Gothak provides. Bladebiter, aka me, indicates that she's a member of the Grey Hands. We persuade her that we killed the bugbears and kobolds in self-defense. She tells us to seek the watch if we're attacked again and lets us go. We reach the statue and note a woman in a purple cloak, her face hidden by a hood, sitting on the back of a carriage. Krager approaches the back of the coach, where the woman, who is presumably the individual to which we are to deliver the potions, is perched and says, "Are you expecting a package?" Without saying a word, she holds out her hand. Gothak offers the coffer. She inspects it and holds out a velvet pouch. Gothak likes velvet, as it turns out. She motions the driver, nods and thanks, and they leave without a single word exchanged further. The pouch contains 15 platinum pieces, which the Goliaths and the Dragonborn feel honor-bound to share with the group, as it will help pay to take care of our tavern. Meanwhile, somewhere across town, at the House of Inspired Hands, which is Waterdeep's Temple of Gond, which happens to have a toothed cog with 4 spokes at its peak, at the corner of Seawatch and Shark Streets, it happens to look like a workshop. The silhouette of a humanoid releases a tiny metal sparrow as Sid and Vamir approach. It does loopy-loops in the air and then attacks very suddenly, and the Dawn Screamer readies his defenses because he wants to glow all pretty. Vamir misses a couple of times, and the sparrow randomly chooses to attack further. Sid attacks as soon as the sparrow comes within 30 feet, and the sparrow dies instantaneously as he unleashes a massive beam of light from his arm, hand, loin region. While screaming about the dawn, the humanoid retreats into an attic at the top of the temple. The 2 gentlemen knock. They're invited in. There are all sorts of marble pedestals holding award-winning inventions, including models of all sorts of interesting things, including the model of a dragon turtle whose name was apparently Big Belchy. A dragonborn priest of bronze ancestry named Valletta approaches the Dawn Screamer and Vamir. They indicate what they're doing there, which is looking for the automaton. She sighs upon hearing about the sparrow and says that's Nim, and takes them to the attic to see the Nimblewright. The door is locked. Valletta can't open it. Sid wants to beat it down. They're all like, "Oh no, 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 no." And Vamir proceeds to convince Nim to unlock the door by praising the sparrow and saying he wants to learn how it works. Nim hides behind a table because apparently he's shy. And the room contains a bunch of things used for tinkering. Nim has been taught to communicate by hand signals, and Valletta tells Nim not to attack temple guests. They discover that Nim has created a new Nimblewright that looks a lot like him to ease his loneliness. The creation fled in confused terror a month ago, and Nim hasn't seen it since. Valletta calls the acolytes below for some assistance in removing all of the goodies out of the room. Nim's tools and unfinished inventions are removed, and an on-copper contraption with an umbrella coming out of one end appears, and Nim explains that it's a Nimblewright detector used to find the lost duplicate. So, when within 500 feet and properly activated by a pull of the trigger, the umbrella will spin when a Nimblewright other than Nim is within range. The umbrella reaches a maximum spin velocity at 30 feet from said Nimblewright. And because it's late evening, everybody heads to the yawning portal with the intent to rest after dinner, and that is where we concluded.
Okay, that was a good 10-minute review. That was awesome. So for that, I gave everybody an inspiration to begin the game, and Rain got 2, and she had 1 carried over, so she's got 3 inspiration. So you now have in your possession the Nimblewright detector, and we went over on how that worked, right? And I think we have inside the temple. Let me see. Um, that is not it. Inside the temple, Valletta Nimblewright detector, and that is the Nimblewright detector. And does everybody remember how it works?
Goes ding when there's stuff.
No, not exactly. um, let me see it.
The umbrella bobs up and down the closer we are to a Nimblewright within 500 feet when we pull the trigger, right?
Yep. To
Yes.
activate the Nimblewright detector, character must hold down his trigger. When the activated device comes within 500 feet of a Nimblewright other than Nim, the umbrella begins to spin, whir, and click. The spinning whir
I think we're going to put a
clicking
bell on it.
accelerates as the distance to the target lessens, reaching maximum velocity and volume when a Nimblewright other than Nim is within 30 feet of the device. So that's how that thing works. And that will help you try to find the wayward Nimblewright. So as I understand it, everybody's headed back to the yawning portal to have some dinner. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Question, why are we going back to our own tavern to have dinner?
Because we don't have the means to make dinner. We haven't fixed it up yet.
Well, I think you also probably need to report something, right?
Yeah, we're also here so that we can report that we delivered the.
Correct.
So you're all sitting
Yep.
at a table inside the yawning portal and being served dinner and drinks. And then you see your old friend Rainier. Rainier comes over and joins you at your table, and he says, "Hello, friends. I understand that you had some excitement happen at Troll Skull Alley this morning."
We did indeed.
If you mean replacing windows, yes.
Yeah, I heard some. There was an explosion and something about a fireball and some dead gnome and things like that.
So, as it turns out, I came down the Dawn Descender just like normal for the Dawn, right? Because I'm ready to praise. And then things just got a little crazy. We walked outside, and there were all these dead people, and we didn't know what to do. So we did stuff, but we didn't know what to do before we started. It became apparent afterward that there were people to chase and buckets full of deadly necklaces. And then this weird bird attacked me and blasted it with my loin cannon.
Really?
Yeah. All those things happened.
So did you guys know who this gnome was?
The Zentarum thinks that my father embezzled a large amount of gold while he was open lord, and that he
this is
hid the
what he
dragon
tells you.
somewhere in the city. They think they can find it by using an artifact called the Stone of Galore, which was in the hands of the Zenithar Guild until recently. Apparently someone stole it. The Zens thought I knew something about all this, but I don't. My father and I haven't spoken in years.
So that was the information he told you before, right? So then
Yes.
as you're talking about this gnome, this is what he says.
When the Lords of Waterdeep ousted my father, I thought his long dark shadow was finally gone for good. The truth is, I want nothing to do with him, but his spies hound me. One of them, a gnome named Dalakar, had been watching me for months at least. And it was maybe about 10 days ago. He was nowhere to be seen. My father didn't trust many people, but he trusted that gnome. I spoke to a few of Dalakar's friends. Apparently, he was on a special mission to retrieve the Stone of Galore, and he was afraid that the Zentarum and the Zenithar Guild were close to catching him. When he heard that I had been kidnapped, he wanted to know more information about you, about how you came to rescue me. I think Dalakar was planning to pay you to deliver the stone to my father back in Neverwinter.
So that's that's what his conversation is with you. Telling you that he believes that gnome was coming to see you and pay you a visit.
Well, that didn't go well.
So what do you guys plan on doing? Do you know who took the he obviously he must have had the Stone of Galore with him. Did you get a chance to check his belongings before the City Watch came? Did he have the Stone of Galore?
I mean, I know someone who briefly had the bag in their possession before the guards got there.
Who had the bag? Was the Stone of Galore in the bag?
I picked up the bag he's talking about to look at it. I was then informed that doing so was a grievous mistake in this city.
Was the Stone of Galore in the bag? And if you don't remember, this is what the Stone of Galore looked like.
That is a seriously ugly stone.
I honestly do not know. They all looked unfamiliar to me.
Did anybody else happen to search the bodies or get away with anything? Who's got that bag of stones now? Did you keep it?
The guard took possession of the bodies.
The guard that took possession of the bodies has that bag of stones. There was a bag of gems?
That was my understanding. The scene was very chaotic. People burning, bodies cast about, people screaming.
Well, if nobody else was able to mess with the bodies or take anything, then either the Stone of Galore is still on the bodies, or it's with the City Watch.
Wasn't there some gnome running away?
He wasn't a gnome, but there was a
There's somebody
gentleman
running
that
away.
was witnessed limping from the scene, carrying something that he supposedly took off the body. So I think we can probably deduce what that might have been.
Oh. I'm assuming if you didn't see the Stone of Galore inside the bag of gems, either that person took the stone or it's still on the bodies.
Or is it?
I tell you what I can do. I can ask around and find out if I can get some information on who else was at the scene. Come see me tomorrow, and maybe I'll have some more information. I'll ask my contacts, and we'll ask around town and see if we can figure out any more information. In the meantime, you should probably go see if you can search the dead gnome. See if you can figure out if what's his name, Dalakar, um, might still have the Stone of Galore on him. Maybe not. If they've done a complete autopsy by now, they've probably put it in some kind of safekeeping, not knowing what they actually have.
So, who has the umbrella thing, by the way? Just curious about that.
Vamir
Either
does.
you or Vermeer.
Okay. Vamir, while you guys figure all this stuff out, can I play with the umbrella?
Sure.
Sweet. So I decide that the party is going to do all the heady tasks of figuring out what we're doing next, and I'm going to stand in the corner and play with the magic umbrella.
You pull the trigger and
Oh yeah, I'm just going to stand in the corner and pull the trigger.
okay, he's just standing in the corner playing with. You're pulling on the trigger and nothing's happening. You take your finger and you try to spin the umbrella and get it to kickstart, but it's no reactions. You're just pulling the trigger and it's not working or whirring or buzzing or anything that Nim told you it would do if you were within 500 feet of a Nimblewright.
That does not dissuade me from continuing to pull the trigger.
And you continue to pull the trigger and play with the device.
Darn right. That's what I'm going to be doing until the party decides what to do.
Well, I'm gonna look at Kaz and Bladebiter, and I'm gonna point at both of them. You rest, because you were both on the cusp of being fully dead, not nearly dead, but fully dead. So rest.
I believe we were supposed to be going back to our own manor to do a group rest to restore all of the business and then sallying forth from.
Yeah, you were headed back to Troll Skull to spend the night, but you stopped here for dinner and to do your report.
Oh yeah, Gothic and I are a bloody mess then, because we haven't had a chance to clean up.
Man, if only we had someone that magically cleaned clothes, that would have been better for you.
You know, bugbear chunks out of the beard would be nice, but
Okay, so what do you plan on doing next?
taking a long rest in my bed
All right,
after evening prayers.
so you guys are getting ready to leave the yawning portal.
Yep.
And as
Do we
you,
see
as you-
anything of
as you get up
interest
to
before we go?
leave, you can see Yagra she's not sitting at her normal table. You remember her table where she got in that fight? That's normally where she sits. You notice that she's not at her table.
Well, that's not right.
And you
I
see
like
Durnan-
Yagra.
Durnan at the bar, he's cleaning glasses and serving alcohol, and he kind of waves at you, remembering that you guys helped kill the troll.
I'll sidle over to the bar because I need more ale.
You sit up at the bar, and
nasty.
Durnan says, "Aye, what can I get you?
An ale, please.
An ale."
Where's Yagra at? She's not at her post.
Oh, Yagra. Yeah, you haven't noticed, eh? Yeah, the City Watch has been. They've been rounding up the Zentarum. Davil's gone. Yagra's not here tonight. Yeah, they're really cracking down on the Zentarum. It has something to do with that fireball that went off up in the Troll Skull Alley there. They're really cracking down on the Zentarum. Rounding them all up.
Oh, that's not good.
Where have they been taken?
To the stockades. They think that the Zentarum are the ones that have something to do with all the violence in the city. And this fireball has just put the city watch on edge.
Unless I'm
I
mistaken, we
I
told
understand
them.
there were 2 Zentarum that were killed. I guess if only the dead could speak.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yes, it is. Hopefully, that was a crafty one. I'm sure he'll be back. And he gives you your ale and goes on down to the other end of the bar where he's serving up some other patrons. Have a good night.
You too. And I will go back to our group and tell them what transpired. That the city guard's rounding up all the Zentarum, throwing them in the stockade.
All right.
But that's something to deal with tomorrow.
All right. So you guys are going to head up back to Troll Skull Manor.
Yes.
Yes, to rest.
All right. Let me give you. You guys make it back to the Troll Skull Manor. You know, you make your way through the city. It's a nice summer evening, early summer. There's still a few people in the street. You know, it's probably around 9 p.m., just getting dark. And you make it back to the manor, and I will give everybody a long rest. So you should get all your hit points back, all your spell slots back. And there's a mechanical sparrow on my combat tracker that needs to be deleted.
I blasted that, just for the record.
Yeah, you killed that.
From
thing.
his loins.
Blasted it.
Alright, Sid, got that, Kaz, Oscar, everybody's on the combat tracker. Good.
Do we
Nice.
need to be on the combat tracker?
I don't combat
Well,
when I
just-
sleep.
Yeah, when I just making sure everybody was on there. For later maybe. I don't know if we'll have.
Beware the
combat
smiling DM.
Yeah. So.
Okay, sorry if I missed anything. I had to step away for a second. FYI.
We're gonna rest. He was double checking to make sure we're all on the combat tracker.
Oh, yay.
You have a good restful night, and nothing out of the ordinary happens, and it's morning time, and the sun's shining through the. Oh, wait a minute, did Sid make his check to get up the Dawn Screamer or whatever the hell it is?
It's called the Dawn Ascender when you're going
Yeah,
up.
the Dawn Ascender.
Yeah, I did not do that.
Make your athletics check.
Fail, 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 fail.
Oh. So as you're trying to climb up the Ascender,
Wait, with a 14?
yeah, I made that difficulty check. You know, remember?
Wait, why?
Yay. He was just giving the people what we wanted.
You're halfway up
We're-
and you lose your grip, and you fall. And this is on the outside, right?
No, it's absolutely on the outside.
And you kind of like rolling off one of the awnings, and bounce off the gutter and land in the streets. You're gonna have to use the stairs tonight, my friend.
That sucks.
You took some damage, but since you went upstairs and went to bed, the long rest helped that.
I mean, am I dirty now? Am I dirty now?
Or I would have hoped.
Aren't you always? Ha ha ha.
That's ridiculous. Nah.
So it's morning, and everybody's waking up, and thankfully Vermeer has this feeling of relief because he did not have any nightmares or he was not attacked in his sleep. Um, and it's early morning. What do you guys plan on doing for the day?
Well, I've got this weird book that showed up on my nightstand one night, and I'm going to fill it with stuff.
What book is that?
My Book of Shadows.
Oh, all
It
right.
lets me record rituals from any class.
That's so weird. What does a priest need a book of shadows for?
Well, that's the technical game term for it. I'm assuming it's actually something of a prayer book with a lot of empty pages.
Uh-huh.
All right. So you're down in the tavern area and you're sitting in a chair off to the side, scribbling in your book. What's everybody else doing?
Actually, I want to go buy a Find Familiar scroll from the Bookworm.
All right. So you want to go pay.
Sorry, I gotta step away real quick again. Go ahead and just decide for me.
All right. So you want to go pay the bookworm a visit and see if she has a find familiar scroll.
So the
Yeah.
other things we need to do are go see Rainier again to see, although it probably hasn't been quite long enough for him to get information, and then we've got to go talk to that half elf. Hold on. We have a half elf that we're supposed to be talking to, but I gotta find it. We were asked to do so by the. Weren't we asked to go talk to somebody by some of our neighbors, the two that like Kaz? Ah, here it is. Avi and Embrick. Avi and Embrick asked us, well, specifically Avi, asked us to go talk to Tally, a half-elf, who they were
The
trying to
bent
do a
nail.
business deal with, at the Bent Nail.
Oh,
So
yeah, I
we still
forgot
have to
about
do that.
Okay. Anything else you plan on doing during the day? Planning on seeing Never
So Sid comes downstairs with this crazy idea that he's going to go talk to the guards about his Antarum friends that sat at the bar. Because he kind of likes that lady and wants to know what happened to her.
That's what I'm thinking.
All right.
That's,
I
So you
agree,
want
we should probably also do that. And I'd like Vamir's input as a non-Dawn Screaming Water Davian as to my role, given that I am, well, Vamir is too, actually. Vamir and Sid and I are all members of the Grey Hands and should have some sway with the Watch if we absolutely need it. If nothing else, we should be able to point out to them that there are two different branches of said stuff and that they're not the ones with the tattoos.
All right. So you're gonna visit Neverember, visit the Bent Nail, try to find Yagra, and anything else.
yeah, I need you to remove Blessing of the Forge from Vamir.
Vermeer, Gregor. Where is Vermeer? You want me to remove Blessing of the Forge?
Yep. I'm assigning it to myself today.
Okay. Armor of Agathis. What's that?
All right, sorry, I'm back.
What's the armor of Agathis?
Oh, that can go off for now.
That goes off too? Alright. Blessing of the Forge on Kregor. Damage resistance. Okay, that's range. Alright, everything else looks good on the combat tracker.
Oh, Vamir needs to go commission some armor from Embrick and Avi too.
Imbrick and Avi. Alright, and who wanted to see the bookworm?
Vamir.
That was Vamir too. He's got a few errands today.
Okay. So you want to go off and do this stuff by yourself, or is everybody going to go together, or how are we going to tackle this? You let me know.
I don't know if Vamir needs company on his errands, but people are welcome to join him if they like. It's just around the corner anyway.
Well, I would suggest we should go, at least as a small group, to go speak to this half elf. And I would suggest that any of the other things we are doing, including going to see the watch, Vamir and Sid, probably Gothak and Kregor at a minimum should go along for as well.
Yeah, I don't want
Agreed.
to tarry.
seems-
I want to proceed with some haste. I'm feeling some dawn-like urgency.
Does that burn?
Yeah,
Not if he rubs ointment.
we're all out here. All out of ointment.
Have you checked the umbrella lately?
Ooh, no, I have not played with the umbrella lately. Here, would anybody like to?
You're slacking on your umbrella duties.
I mean, I didn't know that it was a duty, if you will.
Alright, so you're inside the tavern still, right? You're clicking the handle of the umbrella and the Nimblewright detector, and it's not reacting to anything. There's obviously no Nimblewrights around. So who's going to see Tally? I guess we'll take care of that first.
I think that's a good idea. And then maybe we can do that while the mayor runs his errands and then go deal with the Zentarum.
Alright. So Vamir is going over to Imbrick and Avi's place, and you're wanting to have them get you some armor? Is that what you're looking for?
Yep,
What kind of
I'm
armor
thinking
are you
scale
looking
mail.
for? Scale mail? Scale mail. Scale mail, scale mail. Let's see. Are you looking just for regular scale mail?
Yeah, no need to get fancy with it.
Okay. Because Avi tells you they can make all kinds of scale mail. But if you're just looking for regular scale mail, it's going to cost about. You're a friend, so they'll give you 10%, 20. Let's say they'll give you 20% off, so 40 gold pieces.
Heckin' done.
All right.
I've also got this leather armor that I can trade in.
They're not interested in any leather.
Ha.
So on your inventory, I will drag over this scale mail, and you could subtract 50 gold pieces off your total. And I've added it to your inventory.
Sweet. Thanks.
And while Vamir is browsing and talking to Imbric and Avi, who's going over to visit Tali?
Probably the rest of us, with maybe Kragor and Oscar doing most of the talking,
Okay.
because I think they probably both have the best wordsmithing. A tiefling will probably freak a half elf out. Oscar is half elven, and Gothak and I can kind of stand off to the side and eyeball things, unless we have to intervene.
Okay, so I think
Wait, who's
Oscar,
doing the talking thing?
Oscar and who'd you say?
Kragor
Oscar
would
and
be my
Kragor?
suggestion.
So I don't think Oscar was here when Avi and Embrick came to visit you guys. So let me fill him in. So it was one evening that Avi and Embrick from the Steel and Wool, or whatever it was called, Wool and Steel, came and visited everybody in Troll Skull Manor, and they asked if had they met Tally yet, the owner of the Bent Nail, and I'll just put it in chat here. The blue-skinned water genasi asks, before you answer, Embrick rolls his eyes and says, by Colossus Flame, why can't you just let it go? Avi sends a teasing glare at his partner's way. Don't flare up on me now, darling. I'm just making conversation with our new friends. He turns his back to you. I'm just wondering what your impression of them is. We've been trying to get into business with him, but it seems, once again, Embrick interjects, he doesn't like that we're together. Fine, we faced ignorance before. It's nothing new. I won't waste any more of my time speaking of it. So Embrick storms off and leaves, and then Avi asks the group that if they could go talk to Tally and try to get a feel for him and why he's been so cold and dismissive with them, and just because they feel like Tally's uncomfortable with their relationship. So as you guys walk into the Bent Nail, you can see Tally. He's in the shop whittling away at a wooden cane. He's a middle-aged half-elf. He's friendly and courteous, and he welcomes you. And he puts down his cane he's working on and says heavily, "Oh no!" And he welcomes you into his shop and asks, "What can I do for you?"
Morning.
Good morning. Oh no, he's a country hick, isn't he? That was his accent. Morning, partner.
Yeah.
How can I help
We
you?
had some excitement nearby here yesterday.
Oh yeah, I
Did
heard
you hear
about that.
the fireballs?
Yeah, man, that darn near shook the timbers off my walls. We had that blast wind guy, and Sergeant Cromley came and talked to me too.
It shook the timbers off me walls,
Yeah.
he says.
Well, we're trying to establish our tavern, Troll Skull Manor, and we're trying to find out more about our neighbors and the comings and goings, and trying to help out where we can. And I'm curious. We've had some dealings with Embrick and the other one,
Oh, you're talking about the old Limbrick and Ivy over there, huh?
Avi. Yeah.
Yeah, I met him.
I guess they want to do some business with you, but they're
Eh.
they're feeling kind of slighted, and what's going on with that.
So,
And before you go any further, I'm going to cast Zone of Truth.
I want you to
So
give
that's
me
going
a.
to be
Go ahead.
pretty obvious that you're casting a spell, right?
It just creates an aura, space that uh, guards
But is
against
it
deception in a 15-foot radius sphere centered on a point of your choice within range.
But like
verbal
verbal
or
and somatic components.
right?
Uh,
Is he going to be able to tell
the
you're
verbal
casting a
and
spell?
somatic.
Yeah, so he'll be able
Ah,
to tell you're casting a spell.
yeah,
But
I'll
I
hold
do
off
want
on that then.
I want you to give me a charisma persuasion roll.
Yeah, I don't really have much persuasion. I do have intimidation.
It's either charisma or persuasion.
Yeah, I'm not persuading a damn thing.
So he tells you, yeah, I met that couple. Yeah, they wanted to do some business with me. You know, I'm a little hesitant. I'm thinking about it. I just haven't made up my mind.
Was there anything we can help do to, influence that decision any? I mean,
Uh,
we helped out the scroll person just over there down the street, with the source for paper, and helped out the potions guy down the way as well, and we're trying to be good neighbors.
well, I reckon you can't help what's ailing me here. Um, yeah, I don't. There's not really any physical thing you could do. See, it's just this feeling I get deep down in my soul, in my heart.
Well, I could
Who else
suggest
is with you?
somebody who can talk to you about the dawn, but you know, I I
You know,
work with Morden, and
I heard that lunatic screaming from the attic of your mansion over there. Please don't bring him over. Please
oh,
don't
I
bring him
am.
over.
It will do. Will do.
Who else is with you?
Everybody
Craig.
except Vamir.
Everybody but Vimir, I thought.
So, let me see. Give me a. Let me see. What kind of check do I need? Skills check. Give me a perception check. Everybody that's with um, Vamir
Oh, I'm gonna give a perception
or
check.
Cragor.
He called me a lunatic.
You are a lunatic.
Right?
And look, I scored a 19. That means I know that I have perceived you are a lunatic.
We all know. Look at those scores. Maybe Kaz. Kaz might be like, maybe he's a lunatic. The rest of us are like, ooh, yes.
Yeah, he's a lunatic. So
Although she's the tiefling, she knows.
as Tally's talking to you, you can see that he's really troubled about something. You know, he's kind of fidgety when the discussion of Avi and Embrick are brought up, and when he tells you that it's something deep down in his soul that he feels, you kind of get the impression of sadness in his voice.
Throughout the entire conversation, or or through when he's talking about a specific thing.
When he's talking about Avi and Embrick, and telling you that it's not anything physical that you can do to help him with the situation between the three of them. It's not like you can. He's telling you it's not like you can go out and find some kind of new paper or some new wood or metal to help them out. It's a more of a mental and an emotional thing.
Got it. Threesome went bad.
Is there anything
That's rough, buddy.
Well,
Lunatic.
is there anything I could do for y'all? Help you with?
The only other thing is, there was a gnome headed this way the day of the fireball. Looked like he was wounded. You didn't happen to see him
A
hurry
gnome?
by, or
A gnome?
was it a gnome? I look at Blade Biter and the crew, and
He was a gnome, wearing a cloak. Seemed to be in a hurry. Purportedly was coming to see us in Troll Skull Manor. Nobody's really sure why, other than the fact that he was moving very quickly. And then that fireball happened, and he was scorched. We're trying to figure out who he is, and what he was doing, and maybe where he came from. And, as it turns out, there was someone that left the scene in the fireball injured. We're trying to find that individual, too.
Well, old Sheriff Sergeant Sheriff Cromley there, and that Blastwind dude. They come on over to my shop, right a few hours after the fireball went off, and was asking me if anybody came my way, and I told them no, nobody came their way that day. Not into my shop anyway.
are there any entrances to the sewers near her?
What was that?
Yeah, I said, is you wouldn't happen to know if there are any entrance to the sewers near here, would you?
No, I don't recall. Let me see. I think there was a sewer entrance somewhere around Troll Skull Alley. I don't have the map right now. Yeah, neither of those two maps show any sewer entrances. Go ahead.
Let me. I see you're a craftsman, and I'm a servant of Morden, and let me give you Morden's blessing and for a little bit on your work there, and I'll cast guidance on him.
Well, I appreciate the help. If y'all need any furniture or anything for your new manor over there, come and see me, okay?
Well, we would certainly like that. We will be needing tables and chairs and such, but we want to do business with everybody that works closely with us, and I know you've got some misgivings about Avi and Ember, and I would hope that you would reconsider that.
Don't get me wrong here. I got no misgivings about that. Them two fellas over there. I got no misgivings about them now. Don't get me wrong. And then as he's working and he sighs heavily, he says, I know what to think. It's because I don't like them being together. But that's not really it. Or, well, in a way it is. You see, yeah, in a way, you see, because I used to be married, and her name was Isola, and she was the most brilliant and beautiful woman I ever met. But she was human, you see. We had many great years together, but while I just grayed a bit at the temples, and she grew old, very old. It's been several years now, and I thought I'd moved on, and I was over it. But then Avi and Embrick move in the neighborhood, But you see, seeing them two together, and they are so happy and so perfect for each other, it just hurts me too much. If I went into business together with them, I'd have to see that every day. I can't bear that. But how do you explain to someone that you can't be around them because they're just too gosh darn happy? That's not fair either.
Well, that is quite a predicament.
Yeah, and that's really the only issue I have. I think it's great. They're a happy couple. That's just what tears at my
Well,
heart because I miss my love so much.
well, it's possible to remember those you've lost and be happy for those that still have. And perhaps if you become good friends with them, it would help you to move forward. You know,
Well, I guess eventually I'm gonna have to face it. And they're two pretty cool dudes. Or one of them's cool. The other one's a little hot. One of them's cool. Uh, you know, maybe I'll take it baby steps. What do you say about that? Some baby steps. How,
that
how about how about we have dinner at your place?
that is, that is I look at the crew. That's a very good idea. Don't we all agree? Nod my head.
And nod my head as well.
I do the same.
Still pissed that he called me a whatever he called me. I don't remember.
Raving lunatic
Something like that.
screaming from the top of the tower.
He spoke. He just spoke the truth. He just spoke the truth. His truth.
Well, that might be nice. It might kind of break the ice a little bit. You know, you all let me know, and I'll put on my finest dress, my finest duds, and we'll
His
do dinner.
finest dress, he says. I didn't know it
Yeah,
was that kind of party
I put on my Sunday
or,
best.
or that kind of bar.
Is that what you guys open on one of them gay bars over there?
Oh, we remember we had drag nights on Sundays at Festive Palace Vale. That's a story for another night. But anyway.
Yeah.
Best part is that that's all coming straight out of his head.
What's that?
But it happened.
All right. So that's Tally's story, and he's looking forward to having a dinner with everyone, and and possibly getting into a good working relationship with the steel and wool, the steel, and then he can do the wood portions, and they can do the steel portions, and everybody can make a lot of money.
It's a marvelous thing. Cooperate.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
Well, good. We can discuss what kind of tables and chairs and stuff we will need for the tavern, and that's we can discuss that over as an icebreaker there when you come for dinner.
Well I think that would be awesome. You let me know a good time, and I'll make sure I'll be there. Hell, I'll even shut down shop for it. Well, hopefully, Avi and Embrick, I hope they don't, I hope that they don't think I had anything against them.
If they did, I'm sure it was just a misunderstanding.
I, Alrighty
But that
then.
is, but that is water under the bridge, as they say.
Alrighty.
Have a good day. Now step out into the street.
Have a good day now.
I'm gonna glare to myself and play with the umbrella.
Yeah, and it's still not. No reactions.
Don't really expect it to. That's fine. It's the thing.
You can go wander around town playing with it.
Phrasing.
What's that?
I said phrasing.
I can see Sid
Uh,
wandering around town with a little umbrella thing, just squeezing the trigger.
we should
Wandering
see
the
if we
streets.
can find Vamir before we go shuffle off to the stockade. Because Sid can pull the trigger and play with his little umbrella all the way there.
Okay, Vamir got some armor, and you wanted to go to the bookworm, right?
Yep.
Let me see if I can find if there is anything in the bookworm. What the hell's going on here? Paper and paper crumbs, steel wool, upgrade tables, running the tavern, paper crumbs. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I don't.
While we're walking that direction, I'm going to be looking for sewer entrances in our neck of the woods here in Water.
All right. Um, I thought there was something. It was probably back in chapter 1. Let me see if I can find it. Maybe it was chapter 2, Troll Skull Alley. Here we go. The bookworm treasure. Shopkeeper. Oh yeah, she's got. She does have spell scrolls. Small collection of spell books and allows wizards. She allows wizards to copy spells from them at the cost listed in the spells for sale table. He can scribe any of these spells as a spell scroll, which charges twice the listed cost for this service. And the spells are comprehend languages, detect magic, featherfall, find familiar. Is that the one you wanted?
Yeah, although all of those are pretty nifty. How much
Well,
does he charge for each?
I'll tell you what. I'll list them off. These following spells are 25 gold pieces. Comprehend languages, detect magic, featherfall, find familiar, mage armor, magic missile, shield, unseen servant. These spells are 75 gold pieces. Arcane lock, continual flame, dark vision, invisibility, magic weapon, misty step, rope trick, suggestions. These are
Hmm.
150. These are
I can
150
only
gold
scribe
pieces.
rituals.
Oh,
So
we'd have to look up each one of these. Clairvoyance,
yeah.
counterspell, dispel magic, fireball, fly, non-detection, water breathing. 300 is arcane eye, fabricate greater invisibility, ice storm, locate creature, polymorph, and 750 for Bidby's hand, cone of cold, and modify memory. No speak to the dead. So those are the ones that she can put on a spell scroll. But a spell scroll is twice as much the listed cost.
Oh, I'm just interested in copying the rituals.
Okay.
So comprehend language, detect magic, and find familiar.
Those are rituals?
Yep.
Okay. So they would be 25 gold pieces each.
Cool.
So if you want to put those into your, do you have a spell book to put them in, or how do you do it?
Pretty much. They go in my prayer book.
Okay. So those are 25 gold pieces each. So 75 gold pieces for the three of them. And you guys remember, you can hire people to cast spells and/or buy spell scrolls. if you need some other spell. Yeah, I don't need that anymore. I'll go back to this one, Fireball. Okay. So Vamir's got his 2 things taken care of. So what should be next?
We
Stockade.
should all meet back up at the manor and then discuss going to see the watch at the stock.
Okay, so you're going to the stockades or the jail or wherever they hold people.
Yes.
All right. So you roll up onto the we'll call it the jail, and there's some guards out front, standing guard.
Gasp.
And they see Sid walking around with a little umbrella thing, and he's pushing it. Actually, let me see if I can find where the... See if I can find a map where these things would be. This thing... The dock ward, maybe? Does anybody know?
Ask the Water Davian.
Yeah, the Water Davian. Basement... Troll Skull Alley... Let me see if I've got... Castle Waterdeep, Yawning Portal, Aurora's Realms Shop, Helm's Hall. What is Helm's Hall? Shrine to the God, Guardian of Protectors. No, that's not it. Jade Dancer. That's not it. Blackstaff Tower, Font of Knowledge. Yeah, I don't see anything. Fieldwood, Northwood. It's gotta be in the castle. Palace of Waterdeep. Mm, let me see. Oh, here's the guard barracks. Watching tower. Stables. Palace paddocks. Guard barracks. Guard barracks. More guard barracks. Mother Pathlorn's House of Pleasure.
This is not
Oh
the
boy.
stockade you're looking for.
Let me see, southwest. Waterdeep
Oh
southwest.
dear.
It wouldn't be southwest. All right, let's just say I'll say that that Yagra's in some jails jail at damn it, I didn't want to close that. In the dock ward.
Okay, so it's down by the dock ward.
Yeah. All right, so you arrive down by the dock ward. You pass the Yawning Tavern, or the Yawning Portal, and you make your way down to the dock wards, and you find the jail cells where they're keeping Yagra. Not necessarily everybody, but you know Yagra. You've heard stories that that's where they had taken Yagra. And as you approach, you see two guards standing outside, standing guard over the entrance. City guard, city watch.
Um, before I before I walk up, I'm going to cast Zone of Truth now.
All right.
Before I get there, so that it will be in effect.
All right.
Wow. There is no truth telling going on here.
Yeah,
That's not how that's supposed to work, is it?
that's fantastic.
Isn't it just supposed to happen?
Put
It
the
has a
spell in the chat.
cast.
Let me see what it says.
I think you just
Okay.
failed to save on your own spell.
Yeah.
I think I did.
Can you drag that shield and drop it in the chat? See if I can open it.
It's not.
Or let me just look at your actions tab then. What is it? Blessing the Forge, Channel Divinity,
Zone of Truth. It's on my actions list
spells. Cure
at the
wounds,
bottom, second level.
second level. Zone of Truth. You create a magical zone that guards against deception in a 15-foot radius sphere centered on a point of your choice within range. Until the spell ends, a creature that enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there must make a charisma saving throw, yes. On a failed save, a creature can't speak a deliberate lie while in the radius. You know whether each creature succeeds or fails on its saving throw. An affected creature is aware of the spell and can thus avoid answering questions to which it would normally respond with a lie. Such a creature can be evasive in its answers as long as it remains within the boundaries of truth. So let me see if I can put a City Watch. City Watch Guard. Sergeant. City Watch Guard Private. Here we go. Let me see if I
And
can
so,
put this dude in the combat.
what I'm wanting to
tracker.
do is cast it on me, so I'm the center of the circle, and thus anybody I walk up to would be in effect inside the radius.
I don't know if it
I don't know
moves.
if it moves.
Yeah.
What he said.
Yeah, it's centered on a point of your choice within range. I don't think it moves. Because it's centered on that point.
Oh well, I was thinking it's like continual light or continual flame.
Nah, I
Throw
think
it on a
it's-
coin and it lights forever. And
Spell. I said center of point of your choice until the spell's ends a creature that enters the spell area for the first time. Now it's centered on a spot. Because the creature
well,
has to enter it. You can't move it around.
okay. I burned the spell slot.
I put the city guard private on a combat tracker so you can target him and then do the cast and he'll roll the save. I said there was 2 of them, right? So let me put both these
Yeah.
guys on there. Let me put both these guys on there. There we go. So there's 2 City Watch privates on there. So you can target them and cast.
I don't see them on my combat tracker.
Oh, they're
Yeah, they're not showing up for
there.
me
You go.
either. Ah,
Yeah,
there we go.
Had them hidden.
Okay. Let me try that cast again.
Okay.
Can we cast it again just for the noise?
They both
It's
failed.
like a
I don't know if you
foghorn.
can see it. They both failed their saving throw. One rolled a 1, one rolled a 6. So they're standing there and say, "Halt! Who goes there? State your business."
Nod. Gregor. Forge Priest of Moradin. I
Good day to
understand
you,
that
sir.
you've incarcerated some friends of mine. Unjustly accused them of being Zentarum.
I have incarcerated no one.
I
But I do
understand
know
that
that the City Watch is rounding up various Zentarum across the city for the crimes and the chaos that they've been committing in the streets.
And do you know for a fact that Yagra of the Yawning Portal is in fact a Zentarum?
That is not for me to decide. She
Well
will be judged.
then, let's talk to your supervisor then.
Why do you need to talk to my supervisor?
Well, because you've imprisoned a friend of ours, and they are not Zentarum.
I've imprisoned no one.
Are they? Is Yagra of the Yawning Portal in your stockade?
I do not know a Yagra.
Big half elf. You can't tell me you don't know who she is.
Half orc.
We have no half-elves in our prison. Not in this one, anyway.
Sorry, half orc. Rather large lass.
A
You
lass
do
is a
know
boy,
of
isn't
whom
it?
I'm speaking.
Nope.
Yagra is female, right?
Yeah.
She is.
Oh, lad. I'm thinking lad.
Yep.
Yes, we do have a female half-orc. Don't know her name. Don't care.
Are you familiar that the Zentarum have tattoos of serpents with wings?
Oh, I'm quite aware.
Did you inspect her for said tattoo
It's not my
with
job.
the serpent and wings?
That's
Well,
not my not
then-
my orders.
then who gives you those orders?
I'm, here, I'm just here guarding this cell, making sure nobody gets out.
Well, you're doing
Who?
a fine job of guarding that cell. Who gave you the order?
My superiors.
Your superior does have a name. What is their name?
What is that dude's name? Sergeant Staggett? You're gonna make me look back, aren't you? Damn you.
Second sounds right. I think it's in the
Daggett.
notes.
Yeah,
Oh,
Staggett was
he's
the
an
first
old.
guy from the warehouse, right?
Yes.
Let me see the
We
notes.
know Sergeant Staggett.
Yeah, Sergeant Staggett. A lot of people know Sergeant Staggett.
Yeah,
That's why
well,
he's a sergeant. Sergeant of the
of course.
dock ward.
Well, is he here at the moment?
No,
And where might he be?
probably out rounding up more than Zentarum.
Oh, aren't you just adorable? So, I'm thinking maybe we should just wait here until our friend Sergeant gets back.
Do as you wish.
Because I'm not leaving until my friend is released.
So, Sid, are you still playing with your little umbrella?
I absentmindedly do every now and then. Just get it out and squeeze the handle on it
This
to
time,
see what happens.
when you squeeze the handle, you notice that the umbrella starts moving very slowly without your help spinning it with your finger. This time, when you pull the trigger, the umbrella kind of, you know, very, very, very slowly starts moving on its own.
Do little hooky finger things move at all, or just the umbrella
Just,
part?
just the umbrella, and it starts clicking and whirring. You hear
Oh,
it's like you see the umbrella barely turn. You hear click, and if you hold the trigger long enough, maybe 30, 40 seconds later, click, and the umbrella slowly turns.
so the dawn detector's working, guys.
The what now?
The dawn detector.
You what, mate?
Just take a look at this. Click. A click. By the way, I'm doing the sound effects for the umbrella thing
Huh.
right now.
And right
Click.
before it clicks, it goes. Right before it makes the click, it goes. Whirr.
Click.
No. Before the click, it's we're clicked.
Don't tell me how my dawn detector works.
Whirr, click.
Whir, click. Whir, click.
So it's
Whir, click.
Did you know that when a Goliath face palms, it's louder because of his tough skin?
it's
Whir, click.
9:20, about 9:25. So I'm gonna call about a 5-minute break if everybody's good with that.
Okie doke.
Groovy.
5 minute
Yes.
5-minute drink break. Get something to drink and we'll pick it back up.
I'm gonna wander around in circles. Try to triangulate with myself.
So it's like whenever we would queue up for a dungeon in WoW, then just all of us spinning in circles.
Whir, click.
I do kind of. I am starting to miss a wowing with everybody.
As a forge priest, I need to develop and market a sit and spin for the secret water.
What are you cooking?
If you develop a sit and spin, my Goliath will get to tell people to sit on it and twirl.
Whir, click.
How do I whisper to another individual?
Click
Slash
on them.
W character name followed by the
Right
message.
click. Right click
Got
on
it.
their profile too.
I think Avi and Ember will be pleasantly surprised.
Be right back.
Okay.
I'm thinking one more level in cleric. Then I can talk to the dead.
I was looking at these like class abilities and skill improvements for the barbarian later on. By the time I mean, if we played this forever, like if this character got to level 20, I would have a 24 on strength, a 24 on constitution, because the one of the last things you get is it raises the level cap of those two abilities to 24 instead of 20. So I'd have a 24 strength, a 24 constitution, an 18 dexterity, and a 15 wisdom.
Wow.
And then my intelligence and charisma would both stay at 8 and 12.
I missed the first part of this, but I heard like 24 of a bunch of shit.
Tank.
So the barbarian at level 20, you gain +4 to strength and dexterity, or excuse me, strength and constitution, and the skill cap goes up to 24 specifically for that. So I have an 18 strength and a 16 constitution and a 15 dex. I get 10 ability score improvements overall between level 4 and 20. So I'd be able to go to 20 on strength and constitution, 20 on dexterity, and then I'd have one left over to put my wisdom to 15. But then at level 20, the strength and constitution would go up to 24.
10 for real? Like, 10 points?
Yeah, 10 total. I get 2 points of improvement 5 times.
Mm.
And that's all base. That's not even with my primal class, the divine zealot that I chose. So, but I'd have from top to bottom 24. I mean, at level 20, 24 strength, 18 dex, 24 con, 8 intelligence, 15 wisdom, and then 12.
Ridiculous, right?
Want to hear something even better?
I do.
I can cast that ability score spell that gives you advantage on one particular type of check for like an hour.
Oh, that's awesome. I've also got another one, Indomitable Might at level 18. Whenever I roll a strength-based roll, like check of any kind, if I roll under whatever my actual score is, I can use the score as my roll instead. And by level 18, it would be 20. So basically, my strength rolls would just always be 20s.
Something better? Squishy's crashed in your party.
Hi, Squishy.
Yay! I miss you!
I miss you guys too.
I still haven't sent your package out, by the way. It's all sitting on the counter looking amazing and rainbow colored, and it will probably go out this weekend.
No worries. I actually got a package full of unicorn stuff from Columbus today.
What? That's funny.
Yeah, my roommate from Iraq lives in Columbus, and so
That's right.
yeah, so she's having surgery like this week or next week, and she sent me like little memo pads with unicorns and papers and tricky things. I miss you guys though.
Right.
I was just talking about how I miss like everyone, and I miss wowing with everybody.
And I just saw on BattleNet the Squeakers mount, and
Oh yes, I haven't even played in months, and I want that.
Okay, I'm
What
back.
is it now?
It's a mouse mount.
It is.
What?
Squeakers. It's
It's awesome.
squeakers.
Oh, that's
Hey,
gonna make me
Squish.
die.
Hi.
Hi, that was adorable.
Hey, did
Well-
anybody see the Canadian Family Feud where he asked a question about Popeye's favorite food? And a lady who was so
No.
happy, it was like one answer on the board kind of tiebreaker thing, and he starts to ask the question, and she rings in before he finishes the question. He gets out, what is Popeyes? And she hits the buzzer and she says, chicken, like all happy and shit. And that wasn't what the question was. She thought it was Popeye's. What is Popeye's favorite food? It's funny the
Oh,
way
that's
she answered it because she started shaking her butt. Chicken. You gotta check out that YouTube video. All right.
Vamir taking suggestions on his familiar's form. We've got bat, cat, crab, frog, hawk, lizard, octopus, owl, poisonous snake, fish, rat, raven, seahorse, spider, or weasel. He's partial to the weasel.
You should have
I expected
twin
to hear
ferrets and call them
all-
Kodo and Po.
I can't do twins.
Yes.
Yes.
Did you get that reference? I really hope so.
Not I, I'm afraid.
Ah, one of my old favorite movies, Beastmaster.
Yes.
Just absolute amazing 80s fantasy flick.
Ridiculousness. And one of those soundtracks that you're like, I want to hate this, but I don't. Very much the opposite.
You know, they actually made it into a TV show, and it was pretty good. Like, it wasn't good enough to go very long, but, like, because I was already a fan, I enjoyed it.
I can see that.
So I'm imagining the weasel sitting on Kaz's shoulder, and then whenever she comes across like a door or something, I can cast guidance through the weasel. And then if she happens to run into trouble, I can cast invisibility through the weasel.
I kind of like that.
I like the idea of also putting a piece of elastic between her horns and then firing the weasel from between her horns like a sling.
I mean, the weasel's name is going to be Boomer, so
Perfect.
And if it gets stepped on, it goes pop.
So, legit, my old dog, Damien, liked to step on frogs because he liked to make them pop.
Oh my god.
your dog might have been a psychopath.
Yeah, I loved him. I miss him.
It's from the movie The Omen. Damien.
What, I thought it was from the book, Good Omens.
Click.
I missed it. What came from Good Omens?
Oh no, wait, that was Warlock, wasn't it?
Yep.
It's been ages since I read Good Omen. Like, I really don't remember much from it.
It was amazing.
I do remember that.
So
I have not seen the show.
It is also amazing.
The show is pretty good.
I mean, I'll watch it at some point because I'll watch anything with David Tennant for the most part.
Right.
He makes a fantastic redhead.
You know, even as the doc, he always wanted to be a ginger.
I just rewatched the Harry Potter series with my kiddo because that child needed to be educated.
Good
I'd
call.
forgotten he was in Harry Potter. It was amazing.
Terrible things happen to wizards who meddle with time.
Meanwhile, here's a time turner, young teenager.
Right?
Yeah, I'm looking.
Yeah, but only her mind can get away with.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It doesn't change the point.
I'm looking on my maps here for. I got the Waterdeep locations, city buildings, and embassies, and there are no jails or stockades or anything on this damn map. So
We're a very progressive city.
Yeah, I'm saying you're down by the south gate. in the dock in the southern dock ward area.
The
where
hazards
she's
of
being held.
DMing.
Yeah.
Can I
You
make
never
like a luck
entirely
roll to
prepare.
determine which direction to go to follow the buzzing and whirring?
No. So are you guys ready to get back into it, or ready to go?
Or click.
So as Sid is,
Or
give me a perception check, Sid.
Yeah.
Wah wah wah.
Or click.
So Sid is seeing this thing, and he's
Just mesmerized.
Are you
Yeah,
sure he's saying it?
I don't think he's really understanding how it works. He's just amazed, and that it's like the umbrella is turning. But he kind of turns in different directions, and he just doesn't understand what's going on here. But it is working. Who else is watching Sid play with this thing?
Me.
Phrasing.
Premiere.
Whoever's watching, give it a perception roll. Never mind.
Boom!
So Rain notices as Sid is
That was your
standing
one.
there. Yeah, she notices as he's standing there and watching this little umbrella thing. As he turns, when his body turns and it starts going, like he's facing the inner city. It's turning, but as he kind of turns towards the docks, it kind of moves a little bit quicker. Not a lot quicker, but as he's turning, facing towards the dock with this thing, the umbrella's just a little bit faster.
I'm so glad someone rolled a 20.
Yeah, and Sid is just mesmerized that it's turning at all. And as
Were you like getting
notice-
sick of yourself?
As you notice, as he's turning away from the dock area, it slows down again.
Look, thoroughly
He's
out
just
of
like-
character. I've wanted to be that barbarian from the last game for like a while here at this point. But we're working with Sid. He's gonna grow on me. I hope.
And his mouth is just agape as he's watching this umbrella turn and click.
Yes, he is. That's what he's doing. That is very much so what Sid is doing.
Hey, Sid, try
Well, you only have an 8
walking
intelligence.
that way.
And you know what? It's dropping every time. So
I mean, your wisdom's okay, but you're a little short on the book smarts there.
That's why I was really happy I rolled well on wisdom, so I can play like the common sense idiot type thing.
Oh, Vermeer's intelligence and wisdom is both 16. Gothic.
he's been a really good friend to me for the
Yeah,
majority of my life.
Gothic's kind of there with Sid, just staring at
Yeah.
the umbrella turning.
I'm as dumb as Sid, but I'm a little. I'm dumb, but I've seen some shit, so so I have some lessons learned. But like,
Yeah.
shiny.
Sid is he's just all about the dawn and this little umbrella that goes whir click.
See, my guy's like, why can't I just smash things?
Yeah, Vamir, were you trying to direct me towards direction directly?
Yes. Let's take a walk. Let's head towards the docks.
I love walks. Let's go see the dawn.
I think this is an excellent idea. Sid, point the umbrella in that general direction, please. And hold it up so that we can
Oh, I will hold it up for you. Oh, crackers.
So, are we leaving the South Gate stockade area and heading towards the dock area now, or what are we doing?
Vamir is not particularly enthusiastic about trying to spring a gang member from the stockade, so he's heading to the dock.
All right. Is anybody staying behind at the south gate, or is everybody following Sid and his umbrella?
I'm going with the umbrella.
Going with the umbrella.
The rule is you don't split the party.
So everybody's going with Sid and his magic umbrella.
Mary Poppins.
So as you're walking towards the dock, you notice that this umbrella starts, picking up speed, and the clicking starts increasing. The number of times it clicks. It's click, 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 and the umbrella starts spinning a little bit quicker as you're heading towards the dock area. And when you get to the dock area, this thing is, it's really got a good turn going now. It's like click, 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 and it's
Okay,
whirring
I've
around.
noticed that the umbrella is doing something now.
Go ahead and give me another perception check.
Oh lord. All of
Oh,
That is
Okay.
a 100% improvement.
As Sid is holding this thing out, he's, look guys, look. I don't know what it's doing, but it's moving.
Why do I feel stupid when he rolls poor?
Is it making you feel stupid in real life?
So yeah, as you're getting out onto the docks, it is spinning at a pretty good pace now, and there's a few ships out there. And the closer you get to these ships, the faster that thing spins. And it's during the day, so the docks, there's a lot of people out there working, cleaning fish, doing what dock workers do, moving cargo. Where is my stories? Images and maps. Let me find these. See if I can find. And in particular, you notice this ship, and as you walk along the docks, the thing really starts picking up as you get closer to this ship.
Someone else better notice that ship. That's all I'm saying. Like, somebody else, please notice
I
the
don't
ship.
know. I feel like that would be some sort of like wisdom check or something to see the connection.
The connection between what and what is the problem, really. Like, you got to put the pieces out there. Maybe Sid will put them together.
That's
What's
an awfully pretty boat.
It is a pretty boat.
Well, are we sure it's this one, or should we like keep walking past it and see if it slows down?
Okay, hold on. Let me read this because I wasn't planning on you guys going here tonight.
We've
We
done
do
it
that to you
again.
all the time.
I know. It's one of the things with this campaign that you do what you want to do, and you can go places that I wasn't anticipating. Okay, yeah, you see one of the ships. This ship is kind of not docked; it's kind of out in the harbor, anchored. But the whirring and stuff, and the thing gets faster as you approach another ship that's actually docked, and you see a sign that says the name of the ship is the Hellraiser.
Oh boy. This will be my favorite campaign of all time if the captain has pins in his head.
Right!
I have a headcanon that Event Horizon is actually in the Hellraiser universe.
I appreciate that you just made that up, and it is fantastic.
Okay, so as you're walking along the docks, you see that this thing starts really picking up speed and stuff as you approach the Hellraiser. And on the opposite side of that same pier on the dock, there's another ship that's called the Heartbreaker. And both of these ships have a ramp leading up to the deck of the ship. And it's really busy on the pier.
This should be really easy to discern. All we gotta do is walk up to the center of the pier and point it at.
You got your mic on top of your head there, DM Horse. Or in your mouth, because that's the other possibility.
Can you hear me now?
There you
That's a
are.
little better, dude.
Yeah, boom mics. Okay, so
Boom.
go to the center of the pier
Word.
and point it at each of them and see which one spins faster.
Okay. I'm gonna spin in a circle in front of the ships. Y'all better watch out.
So this is what happens. If you're standing on the pier, say that there's one docked on each side of this pier. As you stand in the middle of the pier holding this thing, if you're pointing like in between them, it's slow. But as you turn to the left, it starts spinning faster. And then when you pointing the exact opposite direction, it slows down. But if you keep turning to your left in a full circle, it spins faster yet again. If that makes any sense, my description.
Read it again, please.
So say
Some of us are stupid in real life too.
right.
Yeah.
Spinning
Sid
fast
is-
when it's
Sid-
pointing
Sid-
left.
Well, say Sid, you got the pier that extends out into the water, and there's the Hellraiser on one side, and what was the other name of the ship?
Heartbreaker.
Heartbreaker on the other side of the pier. As Sid's standing there pointing straight down the end of the pier, the thing is turning at a good speed. As he turns left towards the Heartbreaker, it picks up speed. If he continues to turn left, and now he's pointing inland, it slows down again. But as he's continuing to turn to his left in a full circle, it picks up speed again as he points it towards the Hellraiser, and then it slows down again.
Okay, so I'm going
As he does a
to.
complete circle.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk towards the Hellraiser, which I'm gonna rename as the Life Taker,
Okay.
just for the purpose of the group. So I'm gonna walk towards the Life Taker, and does it go faster?
Yes.
And then I'm gonna walk towards the Heartbreaker. Does it go slower?
No. Again, as you turn away from the Hellraiser, it slows
You mean
down.
the Life
but as you-
Taker?
The Life Taker, but it slows down. But as you point towards the other one, it picks up speed again.
The Heartbreaker
Yes.
goes faster with the Heartbreaker and slower with the Life Taker.
No.
That is not at all what he just said. Like, not at all.
So
Basically,
Probably just because I got a song stuck in my head now.
oh, my face. You point at one ship and it goes fast. You point at the other ship and it goes equally fast. So my question is, does it spin equally fast regardless of which ship it's pointed at?
that is correct.
Which ship is ZZ Top on? That's all I want to know.
Both of them have planks heading up towards the deck.
I say we take both the ships, guys. I can't figure this damn umbrella out.
So you're heading. You want to climb up the planks and get on deck?
He's
All of
doubled
the
over
decks.
his desk at the moment, snort laughing.
So which one are you going to? The Hellraiser?
Yes.
Quick question: do we know it's called the Hellraiser? Like, do we see it painted?
Yeah. It's kind of like on the bow or whatever, wherever they like you put the name sandwich maker on the back of your boat. It's on the back of the boat. I had a buddy of mine. He named his boat the Sandwich Maker after his wife.
Uh,
And it's bad luck to not name a boat.
That's right. So which boat are you trying to get up onto?
The Hellraiser.
Okay,
We're
the
click.
Hellraiser. All right.
We're
So
click.
it's the dock is pretty busy, so you're not really noticed. Well, a couple people look because it's a pretty large group of people walking up to the to the uh, the dock. You know, walking up to the deck of the Hellraiser. So you get onto the deck, and some of the crew take notice of you, and one of them approaches and says, "What can I help you with?"
Permission to come aboard. I've always wanted to say that. How do you feel about the Dawn?
We have no need of the Dawn. And then
I
they just
pick
tell you,
up.
"Hold, stop right there. Don't go any further."
I pick up the Dawn Screamer, put my hand over his mouth, nod at Vamir and Gothak, and let them handle.
So you're pretty much like wielding a monk wielding a nimble rate detector. I just want you to know that.
I don't know how.
I thought it was an
Yeah.
umbrella.
Mhm.
Also, can we talk about Pax Post in the Chatapalooza?
Yes, we can.
Sorry, just
He's not
Listening in.
drinking. That's the best part of this whole thing. He is not drinking.
wow.
He was last week. Buddy.
Who
Oh
was
yeah,
drinking
was
this
he
week?
ever?
You were drinking.
I just had
and
a little
playing-
scotch.
And playing with Vamir's kitty cat.
I like that
Phrasing.
cat. It's a very cute cat.
I miss Cat.
I hear they made a movie about him.
Yeah, that's a hard nope.
So as you're cornered by these crew members, one of them tells you, you know, you're not welcome aboard until the captain has word with you. And then he motions to one of the deckhands to, he says, "Go get the captain. We have visitors." So a few minutes later, this well-dressed human comes out, and you said you're aboard the Hellraiser, right?
Yes.
He says, "Good day. My name's Velgos Ifrizrin. Efrazirin. I don't know my name. Welcome aboard the Hellraiser. How may I help
Can
you
you
today?"
Spell your name.
Velgos. Velgos. Ephezrin. Ephezzzrin. At
Carry on.
your service. How can I help you today?
We're members of the Grey Hands investigating a mass murder.
A mass murder? What happened?
Nimblewright was spotted casting a fireball in the middle of a busy street and killed 11 people.
I might have heard about that. I understand the Zentarum are to blame. I hear that the City Watch is rounding as many up as they can.
The Zentarum were among the victims, and we have reason to believe that the city guard might be misled. We actually have a detective here that determined that there's a Nimblewright on board this ship, and we were curious if we could question him.
Yes, we have a number of Nimblewrights. You see, we're a fleet. This is the Hellraiser. Across the pier there, you have the Heartbreaker. And over there, docked in the water, is the Eyecatcher. I'm the captain of this vessel. And the captain of our fleet is on the Eyecatcher. His name is Zarzad Zord. And
Spell.
we're traveling we're traveling entertainers. And we're here in Waterdeep for the summer festival. We have a number of nimble rights on our crew. They're for attractions and nothing more.
Are they well secured? Is there any possibility that one may have escaped recently?
No, absolutely not. We have good control over our entertainers. No one's allowed to leave ship unless they're granted permission.
Any new nimble rights in the last month and a half?
None that I'm aware of. Why such interest in nimble rights?
One was witnessed fleeing the scene
The scene of the
of the murders.
Sankara massacre, you say?
Yes.
Nope, wouldn't have been one of ours.
Can
Let
I
me.
do insight to check and see if he's lying?
Sure, roll
Yeah, I want to do that as well.
roll insight.
I am just so happy about my umbrella.
Yeah, so you guys, you don't feel that he's trying to be deceiving anyway. He seems very truthful. I can ask the my other captains and our fleet commander if they have had any problems with their nimble rights.
I'd appreciate it. We'll be in the docks area for a little bit longer, or you can find us at Troll Skull Manor if you care to send a messenger. Or simply pass it on to Sergeant Staggett, and we'll be in contact with him.
Well, I doubt Sergeant Staggett comes to the docks. He doesn't usually come out this way too much. Where can I pass the message if
Troll Skull Manor in Troll Skull Alley.
Troll Skull Manor? Are you going to be around the dock wards any more time today?
For a few hours, I think, yes.
And you see him. Hold on. Let me see what this is. Sending. So you see him pull out this short piece of fine copper wire, and he starts wrapping it around his hand, and he mumbles a few words and motions with his hands, and closes his eyes, and then he takes a moment, does a few more finger tricks and with the copper wire, and then he says to you, he says, "Okay, I've asked my fellow captain, and they've said that they haven't allowed any nimble rights to go ashore since we've docked, and they haven't noticed any new nimble rights, and they would have noticed new nimble rights if they're on the decks. We don't have very many, and they all have a piece to play in the circus. But I have spoken with the fleet commander, and Zara Zord would like to meet with you. He's kind of curious about why you're asking questions about nimble rights and what happened in the city." He's inviting you to dinner tonight aboard his ship.
I look around and judge the willingness of the rest of the party to accept. How are we feeling, guys?
I nod.
I know.
Very
We'd be
well.
happy to accept his invitation.
Yeah.
Very well. I will relay that information to him, and he'll prepare dinner. Have dinner prepared. Say 8 p.m. 7. How about 6:30? 7 p.m. We'll call it 7 p.m. 7 tonight.
Shall we meet you here on this pier?
Yeah, we'll have a small boat, or dinghy, or whatever you want to call them, ferry you out to the eye catcher.
Whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
It's quite the experience, Captain.
Okay.
Excellent. Thank you very much for your cooperation.
We'll see you this evening then. Have a good day.
Alright. Well, I head back off the boat. Ship. Floaty thing.
All right.
Should we discuss some sort of solution for a rapid escape from a boat out on the water tonight when we get?
Sink the boat, take everyone with us.
We have them sail out a little ways.
I feel like that's the opposite
And
of
then
ideal.
Yeah, no. See, we happen to know a certain young bronze dragon.
You read my mind.
And that's a hell of an ally. Just
Yeah,
saying.
but we can't exactly contact him at the moment.
You kind of
And he is
stay
in
away
fact
from the harbor too.
doing his level best to, stay away from the harbor and not antagonize any ships.
Aww.
That is a good idea, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was. Who came up with that idea? Who was it?
Gregor.
Zach?
Gregor.
No, not me.
Kragor.
I'm gonna give you an inspiration, even though it didn't.
Yeah,
work.
give that dwarf an inspiration for that nonsense. That was clever.
And I'm gonna give.
You-
Let me see. I'm gonna give Sid an inspiration because he was handling that umbrella so well.
Yes, totally. All right, so what time is it now? How much time do we have to kill before we're going to dinner?
Let me see. We started off about 9. Let me see. We went and talked to Tally. Vamir got a couple things. You stopped at the Yawning Portal. So that's probably around 1. You traveled to the Dock Wars, 2, 3. You probably got enough time to go back to go back and get dressed and get prepared to go out to dinner, and make it back to the Dock Ward by 6 or so. Oh yeah, and
Okay.
you hung out by the prison for a while, and I guess the guards chased you off.
I really
I
don't
would
blame
want
him.
to swing by Avi and Embers and let them know that what transpired with our friend at the bent nail.
Okay.
Yeah, if we have time to do that, that's a good idea.
All right, so you head back towards Troll Skull Alley. Takes about an hour and a half, 2 hours to get there because it's on the other side of town. Probably not that long. We'll say an hour. And you go to this wool. What is it? Steel Wool? What's the name of the place? Wool and Steel, something like that.
Yeah.
Steel wool.
I feel like Steam was
Steam
in there
and Steel.
somewhere.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
Steam
that
and
one.
Steel. Steam and Steel.
It occurs to me that we're only sort of pursuing half of the investigative leads we have concerning the murders. We should also find out where that necklace of fireballs came from.
Agreed.
Does somebody
Well,
keep
that's a
track
good
on the
question.
leads? I don't know if anybody's kind of tracking any of the leads because you got.
I have an
Dead
intelligence of
bodies.
8. I can't write.
You've got the dead. They were taken. The schmegma on the guy's boots. He was headed towards the troll skull. Neverember said that he thinks he was delivering the Stone of Galore to you. Isn't that what he said?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things you can still do. You still have the Nimblewright detector. You found some Nimblewrights. You don't know if they are the right Nimblewrights. You believe the captain that they're just entertainers. You thought he was truthful. What else? You got the necklace. You can try to figure out where that came from.
We should
What
find
does
out.
everyone think we should do?
We can look around for any sort of like magic shops or anything that may have reported something stolen or lost. We could check out any uh, more well-to-do residences that same thing may have lost an heirloom or something.
I mean, in the immediate time period, we kind of have enough time, I think, to talk to Avi and Embrick and then go back for dinner. But tomorrow, yes. I think the fireball necklace angle is a good one to follow up on. And then, of course, we have to continue to decide what to do about Yagra et al.
So as you're going to the Steam and Steel, correct? You want to stop in there first?
Sure.
Okay, so as you enter the Steam and Steel, you see Avi. You know, she's talking to a young female human, and this female human's holding a new rapier and speaking with Avi as you pass by. Though dressed in a nondescript fashion, it's just something about her, the way she holds the blade, suggests danger and grace. And she's wearing like a purplish cloak
Where's this lady?
inside the Steam and Steel, talking to Avi. And Avi and Ember
I
shop.
wonder what she feels about the dawn.
Oh, go ask her.
Gonna walk right up to this dangerous looking person and put on my best suave face. Whir click. How do you feel about the dawn? Whir click. Wait, is it work clicking or is it not work clicking?
No,
It's not work
it's
clicking.
it's,
No,
it's not
shit.
working anymore.
I'm waving it. I'm waving it slowly through the air. Yeah. I'm waving my umbrella at her. All right.
You got this silly umbrella, and you're asking this young
Dangerous looking person. This dangerous looking person. Yes.
lady, right? If she cares about the dawn,
Yes.
and she just looks at you, and as she puts the rapier back down on the counter, and she says, "I love a beautiful morning."
I just keep laughing to myself.
Oh, this just gets worse and worse.
This is awkward.
Please forgive our friend. He's a little touched. How are you this evening, Avi?
I'm doing well. How about you?
We are excellent. When you've concluded your business with this young woman, we have some updates.
So I want, real quick, I want Rain, Kaz, Gothak, Kragor to give me an insight check.
Insight.
I don't wanna.
Yeah.
All
Nope.
right, I scored well. This is not.
Oh,
This
good.
is not so bad for me for now.
Oh, so did Kaz. Look at her go.
Lemire,
Go Kaz.
Gothak, Kaz. So the only one That rolled bad really
Was me.
was.
Jeez, don't beat her up over it.
Okay, so let me see. Insight. Kregor. Vermeer. No, not Vermeer. I didn't need an insight from you. Kregor. Gothek. And Kaz. You're looking at this lady, and you get the. You ever been like, seen somebody and get the feeling you've seen them before? That's the feeling you're getting.
Deja
It's
vu?
just, what's that?
Deja vu?
Yeah, kind of like that deja vu feeling, like I've seen this person before, but you can't place it. And that's the feeling you guys get of this young lady with this rapier.
Interesting.
And she, as Rain starts conversing with Avi, she's put down the rapier and she tells Avi, "Thank you very much. I may return." And she exits the building. She puts up her cloak, hooded cloak, the purple cloak over her face and walks out.
Her purple cloak.
Yeah, she's wearing a purple, like, cloak type thing. Pretty sure it's purple. Let me see. Yeah, purple cloak. All right. So she's gone, and you start conversing with Avi. Hello, friends. How may I help you?
Well, we went and spoke to Tally, and we thought we would update you and Embrick
Tally!
about.
Tally! You hear Embrick come walking in. Who's bringing that man's name up in my shop? Tally. Huh! He will not be spoken of in here.
As it turns out, he'd like to have dinner with you at our manor.
Dinner with that bigot? I think not.
Ah, there's the problem. He isn't a bigot. He is
Well,
unhappy because his
he
wife
obviously has a
died.
problem with us.
No, it's just that your love for each other makes him incredibly sad.
Huh. That's his story?
Yes. And it will take him some time, but he is potentially interested in doing business with you. But he has to come to terms with the loss of his wife.
What's the loss of
He
his wife have anything to do with him not liking our relationship? Obviously,
because
he
your
has a
love for
problem
each
with
other.
us.
No. He is reminded, seeing the love you two have, of his loss. And
And
that
then
saddens him.
Avi chimes in. See, Embrick, I told you he wasn't a homophobe. He's just a crushed soul. We should help him get over the loss of his love, not hate him.
He himself proposed having dinner, the three of you together at our manor, to help break the ice and ease him into getting to know you.
Imbric looks at you kind of like not that he's not trusting you, but like not trusting that Tally is on the up and up with everything. And Avi chimes in. He says, "Well, I think that's a wonderful idea. I think it'll be a beautiful evening. Don't worry about Emmerich. I'll get him to fall in line." And then Avi looks over and sees Kaz. Says, "Hi, Kaz. How are you today?"
I'm good. Haven't seen you in a while. How are you doing?
You're looking good.
You're looking tasty.
Ooh, tasty. And she kind of.
I love this conversation already.
He kind of blushes. If you've ever seen a water genasi blush,
It's got to be purple, right?
purple, not water, kind of aqua color.
Blue.
If he blushes enough, does it get slightly steamy?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So Avi says, I think
He
that'll
fogs
be a
up the
wonderful
windows in
idea,
his house.
Wayne. You let us know the day and time, and we'll be there.
We'll send you a message as soon as we've figured it out.
How's that armor coming for you, Vimir? Have you been
Beautiful,
able to,
thank you.
Have you been able to test it out yet?
Not yet, but we might have the opportunity at dinner tonight.
At dinner, tonight? I hope it's not the dinner we were supposed to go to.
Nah, different one. We've been
Oh,
invited on board a ship of dubious repute.
A ship of dubious repute. Ooh, that sounds exciting.
Doesn't it, though?
I wish I got to go to this ship to be a repute.
You are, Dawn Screamer.
You let me know if you need any repairs made to that armor. You just bring it back to us. We'll take care of you.
I will absolutely do that. Thank you.
He waves as you guys go. Have a good dinner. Have a good evening, everyone. So you guys exit out of the steel and wool. Steam and steel. Steam and steel.
I like how it's now the steel wool, which is what it is in my head.
Steam and steel. I know, I keep calling it steel wool. So, you guys head on back over to Troll Skull Manor, and I assume you're putting on your fine dinner clothes. If everybody has them, I hope. Inventory. You got your Sunday.
I'm perpetually half naked.
I'm a dragon.
Putting on my fancy festive celebratory garb. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've
Things
got
like red and orange.
armors, commoner clothes, and vestments. I don't know how they feel about a priest coming to dinner in vestments.
Well, I'm rocking mine.
Well, that's what I was about to say.
What are vestments?
Things that priests dress up in for service.
Ah, that's fine.
Yeah, like the priest.
What else would you go in?
Armor.
Yeah.
Armor with the priest vestment over.
That one would be a little bit obvious.
I shall wear my finest loincloth.
Yes.
A garment, especially a ceremonial or official robe. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, this is official.
Yeah,
It says it's
you're going
official.
as official priests. So everybody dresses up, and it's rolling up on 10:30. So, you guys want to continue, or do you want to break it here and go to about 11? It's up to you.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good until 11.
All right, everybody's good.
I gotta roll out. So.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Well, let's just do it again next week or something.
Yep.
Absolutely.
All right, well, I'm good with that too. We got the notes, right?
Yep.
So when we pick it up next week, you all will be headed towards the docks to have dinner with Zarzad Zord.
Spell that for me.
Z-A-R, or Zardoz, Z-A-R-D-O-Z, Zord, Z-O-R-D.
Wasn't he on season 3 of the Power Rangers?
Right.
Zardoz Zord. And it is a dinghy. Characters who accept Zord's offer
Yes.
are shuttled by dinghy to his flagship. Welcome aboard by crew members. And led the captain's dining cab. Okay, we'll pick it up there.
Sweet.
Alright.
Thanks, Mr.
Everybody have a
DM.
good week. We'll see you
Yeah.
See you, dude.
on Matt and we'll see everyone Saturday night, right? Who's gonna be there?
Yep.
Matt and DM, Horace.
Yep. I will be ready to rock and roll. Is the other Matt gonna make it? I haven't had a chance to talk to him.
I'll find out from Jonathan tomorrow.
Okay.
He should be there. I mean, he lives with Jonathan. Jonathan's ready to go. He was asking me about
Okay.
it today. I told him I was running water deep if he wanted to jump in the chat here and listen. But I see he didn't make it, so. But
Yep. Well,
we'll be
plan
there
for
Saturday.
7.
7 o'clock Saturday?
Yep.
Got it.
All right. We'll see you there.
Later.
Bye.
Have a good
Night,
evening,
guys.
everyone.
Night.
Right.
Right.
Hi, guys.